Okay, we're recording. So Morgan and I actually met through a mutual coach who went to the same school that my husband works at through Instagram, and then randomly kept bumping into each other at Summit like 3 or 4 times. It was
Yeah, so funny.
so funny.
It was
And
meant to be that we were
yeah,
friends.
yeah, it was. So we've just been connecting and vibing, and we feel like our businesses and our vibe and a lot of our team is all kind of in the same place. So instead of just her talking to you guys, and we were going to swap team calls, and we do team calls on the same night. So we were like, let's just do a joint one. So you're going to hear from both of us tonight. Really excited about it, and I don't want to waste really any time. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Morgan and give it over to her for my girls. Morgan is a wife and a mom to the sweetest little baby. She's so cute. She lives in North Carolina. She is a 2-star diamond coach and has technically, I think it's official how they're doing it this year, but we'll say unofficially qualified for Premier. To be a Premier coach in 2020. She has been in 5-star qual holding. Not quite there yet, but I do want to say like that's really freaking incredible to be in 5-star holding. And she's only 17 months into her business, you guys. Like, gives me goosebumps. Almost a 5-star diamond coach, 17 months in. She was a success starter and is a Success Club All-Star, which means 12 months consecutively of Success Club. So with that, I'm just going to give it over to Morgan. So.
Awesome. Wow, I feel so loved. Thank you for saying all of that. Tonight's call is really just going to be about how to level up your business. Morgan and I, we both have the same name, so it might get complicated. We are both just here to share how we've been able to run with our business and how you can level up your business, no matter if you are, a brand new coach or you are, a couple months in. Let's see, there's a weird sound. Is everybody muted? If you are not muted, would you mind just muting yourself? That way we have some full concentration and no distractions. But as Morgan was saying, I am 17 months in the business, and I'm from Emerald to 5-star qualification. Unfortunately, we're not there right now, but we will be back up there here in a little bit because my team freaking rocks and are all rock stars in just 1 year. And so what we're going to be talking about is just leveling up your business. So I'm just going to share a quick version of how I got started in Beachbody. It might be similar to some of your stories. It might not. I found myself 4 months postpartum, super self-conscious, overweight. I had never struggled with my weight in my life. And so I found myself in a really low place, just not feeling good about myself. My confidence was at an all-time low. I felt super lonely, being in new motherhood as such a young woman. I didn't have a lot of friends who were having babies around me. And so I just found myself in a place that I had never found myself before. And that was in a place of just a little bit of depression. And so I was following this random girl on Instagram, and I reached out to her because she just looked so happy, so healthy, so fit. She had a baby around the same time as me. And I just said to myself, like, whatever she has, I need in my life so badly right now. I was to the point where like, I didn't even feel confident, like, undressing in front of my husband. And if you are married, that is not how it's supposed to be because our loved ones love us the most. And so that shouldn't even matter. But that just goes to show like how low a place I was in. And so I reached out to her. She told me she was doing Beachbody on demand. And I said, whatever it is, I don't care. Sign me up. I'm ready to do this thing. I signed up as a discount coach because I was like, sure, I'll take a discount on, Shakeology and the products I'm about to start using. But within 3 to 4 weeks of starting 80-day obsession, my morale and just how I was feeling about myself just completely turned around. And that's when I decided that I wanted to run with this business. I was 40 pounds overweight, wasn't even at my ideal weight or whatever you want to say. But I just knew that what I had found and what I was going to be continuing to find through this program, I needed to share with other women. And so I decided that I wanted to run with this business. And so what I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight is just kind of how I did what I did, how I grew my business so quickly. And no matter where you find yourself today, I want you to know that it is possible for you to pick up your business and run with it at whatever speed you want to run with. So I'm going to share how I did what I did, and then I'm just going to leave you guys with a couple tips on, the things that you can be doing to get yourself running with your business as well. And so, first of all, the first thing I did was I educated myself. This piece is so, so, so important. I didn't wait around for team calls. I didn't wait around for my upline to send me resources. When I found out that I wanted to make this a business for myself, I knew that I had to put in the work on educating myself to truly just understand this business. And if you're a woman who says you want to run with this business, but you still, aren't quite confident in what this business opportunity is, or not quite confident in, what this can be, you have got to put in the due diligence and the time and educate yourself. That is one of the most important things you can do. So the great thing about this business is every top coach in this company shares all of their training, and there are no secrets. There's no secret sauce in finding success in this business. So spend your free time diving into personal development, into trainings from Ashley Molstad, Melanie Mitro, Lindsay Matway, Nikki Whiting, the girls who have gone before us. It is our job to learn from them, figure out what they did, and play it into our business as well. So for me, anytime I hop in the shower, there's no time I'm hopping in the shower coach, even when I didn't feel like one. So I spoke about the business in a confident way, which kind of goes back to educating yourself, because obviously it's going to be hard to talk about this business confidently when you don't know what to talk about. So educating yourself so you can act like a top coach. So here's an example of how you can act like a top coach when you feel like you're only a week into this business. So are you in an accountability group? And if so, how many people are in that accountability group? If you're in a group of 200 women, I want you to go on your stories and talk about how exciting it is that you lead a group of empowering 200 plus women. Now, you might not be the leader of that group, but you as a coach, you have your hand in that. You have your hand in helping those 200 women around those lives. And so I need you to start talking like a top coach. Another example that you could be doing is if you have coaches on your team hitting rank advancements or success club or whatever it might be, you should go and share that stuff on your stories. It doesn't matter if that coach isn't your personally sponsored coach, because we are all a team. If you have people on your team or on Morgan's team who might have hit diamond and Morgan goes and posts that on her story, you should go and post that on your story too, because that's your team. And if people see that other people are rank advancing, other people are hitting success club, it might not be your direct team, but that's okay because it's your team all together. And so we need to be sharing that kind of stuff. The next thing I did was I showed up for my health and fitness every single day. Now, of course, here and there throughout the whole 80 days, I might have skipped, life happens. But for the most part, I would say that I was on point, especially in that first program, 95% of the time. And so it's, you all should be doing that. If you're not in a program right now, I really want to encourage you to get started with a program and really give it your all, because if you're not showing up for yourself on a daily basis, there is absolutely no way anybody is going to believe in you enough to show up for them. Because if they see that you can't even show up for yourself on a, how are they going to say that you're going to be their health coach when they don't even see you showing up for yourself? That is one of the bases of this business, is showing up for your health and fitness every single day. And so, if you were at a corporate job would there be weeks where you just don't show up? Probably not, because you'd be fired. You should treat this the same way. You cannot go and be, present on your stories, really good with your workouts for 2 weeks straight, and then totally ghost for a week. That's just not how this works. This is a job. And if we want to make this something big in our lives, we've got to show up with consistency. Because again, if you're not showing up for yourself, who is going to believe that you're going to show up for them? Probably not many people. The next thing I want you guys to do is I want you to set an example of and a culture on your team of high achievement. Set the standard high, starting with your actions. So as a team leader, what we're doing is we're showing people what's possible. And so one thing you have to keep in mind as you start growing a team specifically is your team is going to do a small percentage of what you do. And so if you want a team that's, running with this business and, being runners with you and wanting to make this something great in their lives and be helping as many women as possible, you've got to be paving that way. If you want your coaches to hit XC10 every single month and help at least 5 women, that means you probably need to be hitting at least SC40, because remember, your team is going to do a small percentage of what you do. And so you have to set a culture on your team of high achievement, setting those standards by your action. We are women who want to help as many women find this because of how amazing this has changed our own lives. And so what you do, your team will also do, but on a smaller scale. And so it's your job to set that standard on your team. Next thing I want you guys to do is have your eye on diamond from the beginning. Not just diamond, but diamond and beyond. Once I decided that I wanted to run with this business, I hit emerald probably within 3 weeks or so, which now looking back, I know I could have hit emerald way faster than that. And so if you're not emerald, I want you to know that you could be emerald in 24 hours. Sign up your spouse or a friend or a family member and then get one more person to do this with you. Emerald is a choice. It is not hard. And then once you hit emerald, you've got to have your sights on diamond and getting yourself there as fast as you can. It took me 6 months to hit diamond, but then once I hit diamond for myself and I realized, wow, this isn't as scary as hard as I thought. That next month, within 1 month of me hitting diamond, I was able to get my husband's account to diamond, which then made me rank advance to 1-star diamond only 7 months into this business. Because again, it's not that hard. It's not that scary. There are women out there who want to do this with you. And so it's our jobs, to figure out who wants to run with you in this business. And so keep your sight on diamond and beyond, because that is truly where this business gets fun. That's when this business really starts to boom and become something grand in your life. And so to add on to that, I never stop recruiting to my team. Growing your team can be a very taunting and scary thought for a lot of people, but don't let it scare you. That is truly when the fun starts. For me, I needed community so badly in my life when I found Beachbody. And so growing my team has given me community. It's given me a tribe. It's given me sisterhood. It's given me a group of girls who I know have my back. And that to me is the best part about this business, is just creating your tribe. And so one way I want you guys to think about growing your team is like this. So growing your team is planting seeds. So imagine that you're planting seeds in the soil. You have to keep in mind that not every seed is going to stick. If you plant 10 seeds in your garden, maybe only 2 of those seeds are going to grow. And so that's why it's important to always be recruiting to your team, because not everybody is going to stick. Not everybody is going to want to do this with you. Some people are going to sign up and realize, man, this is too hard and this is not what I want. Recently, I had 2 of my diamonds quit on me. And I'll be honest, you guys, it really hurt. I thought that these girls were going to be running with me. I thought these girls were going to be my tribe. I thought they were going to go to the top with me because that's what they told me. And then a couple weeks after they hit diamond, I got a text message and they said, hey, this isn't for me. I think I'm going to back down. And so I want you guys to know that that will happen. And that's the importance of just always continually growing your team, because you just never know at the end of the day, who's going to stay, who's going to want to do this, who's going to want to run with this business, because not everybody's going to run with this business. And it's going to hurt when people tell you, hey, I'm quitting, not for me. But you have to pick yourself up and move on and just be confident in knowing that they just aren't your tribe. They weren't your tribe. They weren't meant to do this with you. And I'll be honest, like when those 2 girls quit on me, probably within a week or 2 with each other, I let it bring me down in a really, really bad way. I started having all these self-conscious thoughts about myself, like, well, if they quit, like, why did they quit? What don't I see in this business? Like that maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to quit. And so I let that bring me down. But I want you to know that, like, we cannot let little stuff like that bring us down, because at the end of the day, like those 2 girls that decided to quit, they obviously weren't my tribe. They weren't trying to run with this business the way I wanted to run with this business. And I had to bless and release and just know that it's okay, because I don't stop recruiting to my team and I will find my tribe. Those 2 girls might not have been my tribe, and it's fine. Next is just become obsessed with the community and growing your team. I know I keep saying that, but it's just so important. And on top of that, you really want to grow leaders, because it's our job, to grow leaders and to help other women find joy in this business. Again, that's the fun part of this, helping women find transformations, but more importantly, helping women get plugged into a community where they feel safe, they feel included, they feel a part, they feel like they can grow into the woman that they were created to be. And so growing leaders is going to be so much more important than just dragging people along who just want to be followers. And so I want to give you guys a few tips before I hand it over to Morgan. One, I need you guys to put in the time. If you say you really want to make this a business and you really want to bring in side income, helping other women get healthy and fit, you've got to really put in that time. If you're a full-time coach or a stay-at-home mom and you have all day home that you're with your babies or whatever it might be, you've got to put in those hours. That's really going to help you grow your business. Or if you're a part-time coach, I need you guys to find 1 hour a day that you can do a power hour in growing your business. If you're not, finding that time to grow your business, unfortunately, your business is not grow. And so if you want this to work for yourself, you really got to find the time. Yes, it's going to be a sacrifice. There are going to become days where you get home from work, you feed your kids, you put your kids to bed, you spend time with your hubby. You're going to have to then stop that time with your hubby and go dive into your business. It's going to be a sacrifice, but you're sacrificing knowing that it's going to change your future, right? It is going to be worth it because you're confident in where this excited. Be excited on your stories. Be excited for your future team and your future potential challengers. You've got to bring joy into this business, because if you're excited, if you show up happy every day on your stories, that happiness and that joy is going to be infectious, and other people are going to want to do this with you. So you've got to set the tone high and be happy and excited. Next, you've got to be consistent in sharing on social media. I kind of went over this a little bit earlier, and just showing up. You've got to show up, because if you don't show up for yourself, ain't nobody gonna believe that you're gonna show up for them. It is that simple, right? If you wanted to sign with a personal trainer who wasn't at their ideal fitness, but they say that they help women find that, I don't know if I would trust that girl, because I'd be like, she doesn't make an effort towards making herself be the best version of herself that she could be, so why would I think she could help me become the best version of myself that I can be? You've got to show up and be consistent. Not only that, but you should be inviting just as many coaches to your team as you do challengers. Because again, you guys, if you want to make this a sustainable business in your life, that is the way to do this. If you want sustainable income, growing your team is just the next step in making this business work for you. And so for me specifically, when I started, finding changes in myself and pulling myself out of this negative place that I found myself in, when I really started diving into education and realizing what this business could do for me, I knew that recruiting coaches to my team early on was going to be the best way to get me forward in this business. And so probably within a month of me starting with Beachbody, a month with me starting 80-day obsession, I started reaching out to my warm market, to girls who I really believe, maybe this could be something good for them. I sat them down for coffee dates. I met up with them virtually, and I said, hey, I'm only 3 weeks into this. I don't really know what all I'm doing, but I see where this can take me, and I would love for you to take this journey with me. Excuse me. Because, I know some people tell me that recruiting to the team from the beginning is just, I don't know everything. I don't even know what this business is. I'm not sure if it can work for me yet. But that's not the way you should think about it. The way you should think about it is, hey, I'm new to this, but I have done my research. I can see where this is going to take me, and I want to take you with me. And so recruiting from the beginning is going to be the best way that you can make something like this really sustainable in your life. Next, I want you to master the conversation. And this goes back to educating yourself. Master the conversation. If you feel like you get a message on Instagram and you all of a sudden just freeze up and you don't know how to respond, you don't know how to share what Beachbody is, you don't know how to share what this challenge group thing is that people are talking about, educate yourself to the point where you feel confident talking about it. And last but not least, I want you guys to become obsessed or forever be average. If you are not obsessed with this programs, if you are not obsessed with your transformation and how amazing you've become in feeling through finding Beachbody, if you do not become obsessed with where this business can take you in your personal life, you will forever be average and not be able to make this work for you. And so no matter where you are today, no matter how long you've been doing this, no matter what rank advancement you're at right now, I want you to know that you can pick up where you've left off and you can run with this business, girl. You have the power and everything in you to make this something good in your life. And so I want you to know that, you know, you could be walking across the summit stage this coming July as a 3-star diamond coach, as a premier coach, as a 5-star diamond coach, whatever it is. You've just got to make that decision, put in the time, put in the work, and you will be there. Last but not least, I want you guys all to know too that there is no shortage of success in this business. In order for you to win as a coach does not mean another woman has to lose. There is room for us all, and that is the best part about this. There are girls who can be jealous, who can be malicious, who can tear you down, but if you truly want to run with this business and you want to succeed, you have got to know deep down that this job is based around empowering women. And so you need to know that for you to win does not mean someone else has to lose, and that we are all here to support each other and to help each other grow and learn and, you know, find success in this business. So with all of that being said, I am going to pass the baton over to my dear friend Morgan. For my team who doesn't know Morgan, Morgan and I met at Summit, as she said. Morgan is a 5-star diamond coach and will be an elite team here in this coming year, which is super exciting. So congrats to all of you guys on this team for making that happen for yourselves. She is a top 100 team. Her team is kicking butt. She is a Success Club All-Star legend, and she has hit Success Club for 38 consecutive months. Wow. That is like totally some goals right there. She is killing it, and I'm excited to hear from her. So Morgan, go ahead and take it on over.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's you. That was amazing. If I freeze out, I'm just going to apologize in advance. Just give it a few seconds. I'll pop back on. But so I know Morgan was basically saying, like, let's level up with our business, right? So what I want to talk about even further is leveling up with your leadership and continuing to do that. So I know she touched on a lot of things that if they come up in my conversation here, then I'm not going to elaborate on it too much because Morgan just like mic dropped it. But I do want to, same thing, I have some just tips and tangible things that hopefully you guys can take away from this and understand that you can be a leader in this business. Just like Morgan said, like, you're not putting anyone down to get where you want to go, and we can all be leaders. And the way to excel with your team and to continue to last in this business and build something in this empire that hopefully we all want is to create leaders, and that means you have to be one yourself. Leadership is not something that is a time. It's not a rank. It's not a pay grade. It truly is running from day one and having the mindset that you are a leader. So that is my first point, is figuring out your freaking mindset, which I know is so hard, you guys. My mind shuts me down most of the time. And you have to have the mindset that you are a leader. And that means maybe you're a natural leader. Like some of us are, we are just natural born leaders. And if that is you, like, kudos to you. That's fantastic. But if you're not, that doesn't mean you can't be one. Find the podcast, find the book, find what you need to be listening to. Just like Morgan said, you have to be developing yourself. So if you're not that leader, you got to fake it till you make it to have that confidence. And I know some people struggle with that saying, but I honestly believe it's true. Like sometimes you just have to give off that confidence, even if it's not quite there yet, because you know what's possible with this business, whether you've researched it, you've seen it from your leaders, from the people who have gone before you. It is here in this business, everything that you want, and you can attain that. So figure out that confidence, own what you're doing. People are attracted to that. And when you have that confidence and you start to, have that mindset of a leader, you're going to attract people that want to be in this with you because they're just attracted to that. So if you need to put up note cards, like around your house, on your computer, in your car, on your mirror, whatever it is, like, I am a leader. Like, that is you, and know that and own that. My second tip for you guys in leveling up with your leadership is your business comes first. Morgan touched on this by saying, like, she is always recruiting, but I want to remind you, as a leader, it is important for us to lead and support and grow our teams, because that's how we're going to be successful. But your business building activities, those vitals that hopefully I shouldn't have to touch on, the vital behaviors, we're all doing them. If you need to go back into your new coach training, check it out. I'm sure Morgan's team has one that goes over the vitals as well. But you have to be doing those vitals first and foremost. You have to be inviting, to recruiting and inviting challenge groups and coaches. You have to be doing your personal development. You have to freaking be proof that the products work. You have to be showing up on social media. You have to be doing those things. And that has to come first before you dive into your team. So finding that balance sometimes is difficult as you do go diamond and beyond, but it's totally possible. But you're never going to continue to set that example for your team if you're not doing it yourself. You are the leader for your team. And I know this is sometimes difficult, you guys. I have an amazing upline. I know Morgan mentioned Nikki Whiting. Nikki Whiting is our team's upline. She is my grandma coach, so not far off. We work closely together. And my sponsor coach is a dear, dear friend. Like, we are very close. We grow, we work a lot together. And so for me as a leader, I was letting my coach and my upline lead my team. And that is something you cannot do. You have to step up and be the leader for your team. If you're an emerald, or you're not quite at the rank yet where you have your own team page, or you're running your own challenge groups, that's okay. I'm not saying like break off and do those things right away. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be supporting and showing up for your girls. You still have to do that, because what I was doing was adding people into a team page and letting my leadership do the work for my team. And my team wasn't getting from me what they needed. So you have to realize that you are the leader for your team. Morgan touched on this, so my fourth point that I'm not going to go into a whole lot was setting expectations for your team. You have to do this from the beginning. If you are a brand new coach and you sign on a brand new coach, you set that expectation like you are a 15-star superstar diamond team. You say, this is what we do on this team. You set that from the beginning. Give your girls opportunities to say what they want from this business. I love to do getting started right coach calls after my girls do their training, because I want them to have an idea of what they're getting into and what they're going to see from this business. And I want them to start to dream that vision for themselves. When you talk to them, ask them, like, what is your vision? What do you want from this? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Because what you're going to get from that is what they truly in their hearts want from this business. And that might be small. It might be huge. Like, that is the beauty of this business, is we can all be in different places and we can all take it at our level. But what your job is once you get that from them, is to hold them accountable. That is just like we are accountability coaches for our challenge groups. You are a mentor and an accountability partner for your coaches as well. So once you get those expectations and that vision, you have to hold your coaches accountable and let them know, this is how we show up on our team, and this is how you're saying you want to show up. So I'm going to help you do that. Showing up for your team, how you want them to show up. It goes all along the same line. Morgan said it, your team is going to do a small fraction of what you are going to do. So you have to be like blazing the way from the front. Lead by example. I was an athlete growing up my entire life. Like, that has just been something I've always been told to do, is lead by example, do it, do it, do it. But in this business, like, we truly are the people that are in the front. We are hacking down the jungle, making a way for everyone else to come behind us. And you have to be that leader in the front, like showing exactly what can be done. So always be setting those expectations, holding your coaches accountable, and showing up for them and leading them. And also, like, empowering your coaches. We don't want to be enablers. This business is easy to want it more for someone than they do for ourselves, and giving them the answers. But like Morgan said, like, do not wait for your coaches to give you something to do. When I was a new coach, I am narcoleptic, okay? Like, diagnosed, take medicine, will fall asleep in 10 seconds, narcoleptic. I love my sleep. And I found myself up on the couch until 12 a.m., 1 a.m. in the morning, like studying, reading the back office, doing the product tool guides, like listening to old national wake up calls. Like, you have to do those things if you want to grow, because you want to teach your girls that they can do their own things. So you want to empower them to do that, because that's what's going to create leaders on your team. And the more leaders you have, you're going to continue to build. So next point is business development. I just want to touch on this because it takes personal development to a whole nother level. I am a woman of faith. I love my Lisa Turkers, my devotionals, my faith-filled books, my Bible studies, all of that stuff. And there have been times in my business when I use that as my personal development. You guys, that stuff is amazing. I'm not saying don't do it, but if you're not doing business development in addition to personal development, if you're wanting to do both, you're not going to grow and excel in your business. You have to be finding out the things where you need to work, where you need to learn and grow in your business. Write down your weaknesses, write down your struggles. I encourage you to do that, because when you write those things out, that's where you need to put your time and focus to be able to grow and to learn. Like, in this business, like, you don't have to have weaknesses. This truly is, we tell our coaches all the time, like, GTS, Google that shiz, right? Because anything in this business is figure outable. That is not a word, but it is. So you can figure it out, but you have to be doing that business development, listening to team calls, getting on your team calls, listening to old recordings, Google books, figure it out. If you need training on hashtags and social media, go find them. They're out there. If you need to figure out how to be a better leader, there's books on that. If you need to level up, if you need to, whatever it is, it's there. Find it and do your business development. And then my last tip for leveling up as a leader, and this is a big one, you guys, we have about like 10 minutes, so I'm going to really hone in on this, but you have to work with the willing. And this is why I say it is so important when you're doing those, getting your expectations, setting that for your team, and talking to your new coaches. It's so important to figure out what they want from this, because not everyone wants the same thing, and that is okay. Our discount coaches are just as important as our top leaders on our team. Like, we need every single piece of the puzzle, and they all, like, we love and care for them and we want to support them, right? But when your coaches come in, you have to realize if they, say they want something, depending on where they are in their business and what they want out of this, I'm getting fired up, y'all. It is okay, and you are allowed to give different energies to different humans. And it took me so long to realize that, because I wanted to give every single person 100% of me. And that you just can't. You can't do that. And there are going to be coaches, just like Morgan said, like, she had coaches quit. Oh, like, it breaks my heart for her, because sometimes we see the potential in people so much more than they see it in themselves. Or they come in this business and they say, like, I want to, be a top coach. I want to be able to stay at home with my family. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then they don't do anything. And it's so difficult for us, you guys, as leaders, to lead teams and try and push people along when they don't want to be pushed. And so what we have to do is figure out who is willing, who wants it, and whose actions are actually matching their words. And then go work with those people while you're continuing to recruit and do your business building activities first. And I will tell you the reason I feel so passionate about this is because pushing people is going to suck the life out of you, and it's going to suck the joy out of this business. Last year, I felt like was a very trying time for our team and for my business, because it was in that kind of weird spot of figuring out like who's willing and who's going to do this and who's going to work for it. Like, we had a goal last year to finish as an elite team for 2019, and it didn't happen. And that is okay. Like, you're going to set goals for yourself that you're not going to reach. But it was really trying to figure out like, who are the girls that are really going to run with me? Like, who are those people that are going to do it? And pushing people that don't want to is just going to suck the joy out of it. You guys, this is a fun business. We get to literally make new friends, show up on social media, work on ourselves, do personal development, get fit, and share that with other people. Like, this is a fun business. It should not be sucking the joy out of you. So if that is what it is doing, especially like when you guys start to feel this, like, everyone is going to go through it at some point, I promise you. So just remember this, and hopefully like you can come back to this moment and say like, is this stealing my joy? If so, how can I take a step back and reflect on this and figure out the people that want me to work with them, that want to run with this, and let me run with them, and realize that you can't carry the burden for the people not doing what they say they're going to do. And that is a hard thing. It is a hard thing to say. You want these things, but I can't want it more for you than you want for yourself. So I'm here. I love you dearly, but when you're ready, I will run with you. If one of my coaches is running, I am running right hand in hand with them. If they're doing nothing, I'm doing nothing. And that is sometimes just how it has to be, especially as you start to level up in this business. You have to realize that your time is precious, and you are a CEO of your business. So you've got to figure out where that time is going to be dispersed, and you can't give all of yourself to every single person. So there are my tips for you guys.
What Morgan was saying though about just, letting things steal the joy, because it's so true. It's so easy to let things steal the joy out of this business when that's really not what this is about. And so I love how she really honed in on that, because I have found myself in that spot, where I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? This is so hard. This is so stressful. But really, it's just the things I was doing was bringing me down and not building me up. And it's so important just to realize that you have to just bless and release. And like she said, work with the people who want to make this work. I had coaches on my team who said they wanted this, but day after day after day, their actions did not say that. And as much as I wanted to text them and hold them accountable and put my time into it, there came a point in time where I just had to stop because it wasn't worth my time anymore. Looks like Morgan is back. I just was opening the floor.
It was like froze as soon as I finished. So I was like,
I know.
Thank you. I was like crying before this call. I'm like, don't freeze. But thank you for picking up. And
yeah, of course. I was trying to see if anybody had any questions or anything that they wanted to talk about while, we're all here together.
If you guys have any questions for either, just drop them in the chat. I know it's 9:30, but oh my gosh, I just feel so lucky for my girls that we got to hear from Morgan. Like, just such an incredible story that she already has with coaching. So thankful for her getting on and talking to us. Yeah, you guys are
right back at you, drop some knowledge.
Thank you.
Anybody been trying to grow their team and not feeling good about it, or anybody been struggling with any coaches or anything anybody wants to talk about? I love trying to make people talk when nobody wants to.
It's like always that.
Come on, let's get something.
Well, I wanted to shout out my coach, Natalie. She signed up her first coach today, so I'm super excited for her.
Yay! That's the
Yeah.
way. And Natalie is such a new coach too, so that's awesome that she's picking up her business so quickly.
Yeah, I really think that Sprint to Sparkle group has just really lit a fire. So super glad to be in that group. Both of us are, I know.
Awesome.
Yeah, how cute. You guys, their
Girl.
push to diamond is called Sprint to Sparkle. I love it. So cute.
Anybody else have any fun wins from this week that you just want to celebrate or share with two teams, not just one? All right. Well, we won't keep you guys all night. So thank you so much for having my team, Morgan. We've really enjoyed learning leadership from you. Yeah, let's take a boomerang, a pic for the gram.
Yeah, I'm going to scroll through both pages. So everybody just like smile or wave if you guys want to wave. Yay, look at all these ladies. Cute. Okay. Yeah, if you guys want to snag a picture or anything, and I will, as soon as I get this uploaded,